Hi Aries, welcome to your December reading. We're doing the astrology in the second part while we look at the cards. I'm just going all intuitive. I did it with the Capricorn reading, then I did it with the Cancer reading. And I was like, okay, I really like this. Then Leo, then Aquarius. And I was like, okay, no, I really like this. Then Libra. And I was like, no, I love this. And now here we are. First card out, Ace of Wands. If you've been feeling like the opportunities were just not showing up, and when they did, somehow you fumbled them, now they come in and they're just handed to you in a way where you don't have to qualify for them or prove yourself. And it's so great, and it makes you feel the beginning perhaps of a renewal of confidence and just feeling like yourself a little more, like you're making good decisions, like you can trust your decisions, like you can trust yourself. It's a good time. It's a good time for building back up what may have seemed a little bit questionable in the past 6 months. You're already on this road for the past month or so. You've been doing really well and taking really good care of yourself and trying to make better decisions, but as the opportunities roll in, Ace of Wands, as I said in the general reading, that can be great or it can be difficult, because when things start going the way you want, there is one, this impatience that they should go even faster, and two, also there's regret about not having gone fast earlier. There's that. We'll get into that in a second. There is that uncomfortable knowing of how far there is still to go, how much there is still to learn, how low on the totem pole you may be beginning. Don't let that in any way define you. That is not even true. That's just your ego talking. There's no such thing. You putting yourself out there to learn something or be something or do something makes you magical and open and deserving of all the praise and all the love. And where you are on the rung of that learning is not as indicative of you as a person as the idea that you wanted to learn is. So, and because you are feeling that way and feeling optimistic, no matter where you are in the hierarchy, you begin to really feel the power and pick up the speed and feel your personal power growing a lot, and opportunities coming in, opening doors, happenstances just really in your benefit happening all around you, things falling into place around you. A really sublime period where you feel your luck pick up momentum. Don't lessen that momentum by looking back where you came from and thinking, oh my God, this is so wonderful. I love this speed. I love this pace, but I was stuck for so long. I could have been doing this for so long. That all that's going to do is put the brakes on that beautiful momentum, which is exactly what we don't want. So one of the ways that you can stop yourself from looking backwards and hitting the brakes on this beautiful speed that you're picking up, and when you pick up this speed is when things start to be attracted to you even more quickly, and the things that you want start to manifest even more quickly. One of the ways you can stop yourself from this destructive process of slowing yourself down, or indeed bringing yourself to a halt in terms of manifestation, is by being really open and forgiving with yourself. It's okay that that's how it was. It's okay that I was standing still. It's okay that I didn't know any better. It's okay that I didn't make the right decisions. It's okay that I was involved in things that weren't working out. It's those deals falling apart, that job opportunity falling apart. That wasn't my fault. It's just how it was, because it wasn't for me. There's no judgment there. It wasn't about me as a person. It wasn't about my value. It's about, if you're able to be really magnanimous with yourself and be really forgiving and encompassing with that forgiveness and compassion of everything you've gone through and everything that's happened to you, you can continue to grow this momentum, because no fear gets in there and makes you judge yourself and grind the gears and bring you to a halt. Now, one of the other things to remember, since we are talking so much about work and opportunity and changing the mindset and changing the mind, one of the things that you want to remember is that a lot of the work that you do and how far you're able to get and whatever it is that you want to do, you're doing it, one, without judgment, no matter where you're starting, but also you need to learn that it's not just about what you're able to do and the opportunities that you are able to take advantage of. It's also about this magician concept, which is about asymmetry of power. It's about what you know that other people don't know. It's about how much you divulge and how much you keep to yourself. It's about the information that you hold. It's about knowing the mechanisms of things that perhaps other people don't know. It's about acquiring that knowledge that has to do with the mechanisms behind things. So considering whatever profession you specifically might be in, what does that mean for you? And how can you apply that concept? Because what's going to happen is that once you start to learn the inner workings, something really beautiful is going to happen, and it's going to bring a lot of excitement into your life. And wherever you may be feeling like, oh, I'm beginning from the beginning again, or beginning from the bottom again, instead you will feel catapulted to a very different place where you feel that you are doing really exciting work, and it's very emotionally fulfilling, and it's very financially fulfilling, inshallah. So things can change very quickly once we begin to center on our feelings and become more open with ourselves and more forgiving of ourselves and more loving of ourselves. And that's where the door opens up to even thinking about something like learning what goes on behind the scenes, or learning the mechanisms of something, where your mind begins to consider new and different concepts that can be helpful to you on a personal level and a financial level. This happens when you're open to ideas and learning something new and open to change. It's very hard to be open to change, no matter how much the Aries spirit wants to change all the time. It's very hard to truly be open to change if we're afraid, if we're traumatized, if we're wounded, if we're unhealed. These are all different things, by the way. So how does that work then in the Aries nature, where you want to change all the time, you want to move forward all the time, but you're traumatized, you're unhealed, so you're not ready for change, but your nature is pushing you to change? That can create a lot of really self-destructive, really painful moments that you're scratching your head going, why did I do that? Why did I say that? What's going on with me? What's wrong with me? There's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you. You're doing two things at the same time, and you're stripping the gears off of everything around you, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with you. You just need to learn how to drive. Okay, and this is one of those months where you can really learn how to heal and be compassionate, and therefore become very open to change, and feel the trauma leaving you, and feel the new ideas and the new feelings and the new experiences taking hold, and therefore becoming even more open to change, and therefore accelerating that progress. 8 of Wands, King of Wands, Wheel of Fortune, feeding that feedback loop, new fire energy, starting that cardinal engine back up. It's all possible. It's all in December able to happen now that you understand that mechanism. And December will teach it to you, and hopefully now you will be able to articulate it when it begins to happen in your life, and that can be very helpful. Love you. Hi Aries, welcome to the second part of your reading. Okay, so right now we are in the midst of the Venus-Pluto conjunction that I talked about in the All Signs video, and that I spoke of in the first part of your reading, which was available on Patreon, I think like 10 days ago. Okay, now that we're in the midst of it, let's take a look, because we're going to revisit, okay, when this Venus-Pluto conjunction happens again, between the 25th and the 28th, but then it will be in retrograde. So Venus retrograde, just to remind you, starts on the 19th of
December and ends on the 29th. We also have Chiron going direct, which is, of course, of utmost importance to you. So, take a look with me now at these cards all laid out, Ace of Wands and the Hangman. You had your chance to get out of a rut and you took it. And if that means you have to start from the beginning, that's okay. Sometimes getting what you want doesn't look the way you planned, or, and this might be more accurate, doesn't feel the way you expected. But that's good though, because oftentimes we unconsciously are trying to recreate a feeling, right? We want so much for a replay of something that we felt once. But there is something really exhilarating and life-affirming about having new experiences. And yes, new emotions can be a little bit uncomfortable. New versions of the word happy, because the happy that we are when we get what we want is not the same happy that we are when we're so contented that it doesn't matter what we get. So you're learning that perhaps on certain levels of happiness that I don't know how to say it. Excuse me. That like level of excited, almost manic toxicity isn't there. Like it's not fiery or alive enough for you. Sometimes being happy looks like being very calm, and one day is very much like the next, but in a really nice way. And that's not really your speed. So you're getting the things that you want, but they may be coming to you in ways that, and making you feel things that you're not necessarily used to and you don't have a lot of reference for. But that's okay, because what it does is it opens you up, gives you new avenues where you can pursue evolution. And that's all you really want anyway, is like a pretty straight road to run down. So it's fun, as much as starting again. Starting from the bottom is daunting and, well, it sucks, right? It doesn't have to, is what I'm saying. And the Wheel of Fortune there is saying, if we never cut our losses and try something different, we don't ever know what kind of abundance we're missing out on. If we had just taken a little bit more of a risk, right? So if you're having to start from the beginning, start from the bottom, do something perhaps a little more grounded, you have the chance to do it, but it will not stay boring. You are lucky, and the next few months are going to be adventurous, even if from now until March you can't see it. You know what I mean? Even if from now until your season you don't see the actual physical results, and the Wheel of Fortune is not like this palpable feeling for you yet. It's there, and the King of Wands is right behind it, going like, this this good luck, this fruition, this escalation of power, really becoming even more comfortable and determined and grounded within the self. This is all coming. And once it begins, Eight of Wands, it picks up a lot of speed. But until then, it can feel Page of Pentacles financially and Page of Cups emotionally, like you're like treading water. And what kind of a cosmic joke is that? Ace of Wands, if you're getting opportunities, how can you make good on these opportunities if you're basically just keeping your head above water? It seems like a sick joke, but what it's doing is it's applying pressure to you in a way that actually works very well for you. You like being pressured into speeding up. You like being cornered into having to evolve and be smarter than the next guy to get out of the thing or solve the thing, to win. And that's what you're having to do right now. But it's like happening at a very unfamiliar pace. Let's put it that way. And it's like the starting points have been moved for the race. So you thought you were a certain point ahead in the race, and now, the starting point has been moved back. So you feel like you're at a disadvantage. But what you need to keep in mind, and what will ultimately determine who wins, if there is anyone else even running against you, is that you have to keep focus on running your race. Wherever you want to get, whatever you want to accomplish, your number one enemy is always going to be the distraction caused by your ego. And that's not Aries specific. That's everybody. It's our ego that makes us look away from work and try to find something more pleasurable. It's our ego that can spend hours and hours on social media. It's our ego that makes destructive instead of productive decisions. Okay. And then we have the Queen of Cups, the Magician, and the Seven of Pentacles. The other thing that you should try to remain as open to as possible right now is learning. Yes, you have a lot of certifications, and yes, you have a lot of degrees and a lot of learning, and some of it is actually quite prestigious. They're very impressive, but you still need to learn some new stuff. And your defiance of that, you've been so deeply and openly defiant that you don't want to learn anything, you don't need to learn anything, you know everything, that maybe it's a little bit touchy for you. But you should pick up a few more skills right now, only because what you should do, Aries, is that you need to survey the market in whatever sector you work in, and you need to figure out what the next thing is that's about to hit, and you need to put a little money in and learn something new about that area. That's it. That's it. And what that's going to do is it's going to elevate you, this Capricorn energy, and then, this carries into Capricorn season. This elevates you to a different level, just in terms of structuring, in terms of success, in terms of money, in terms of saving money. Good stuff. You can set up basically a life, Three of Wands, through your mind, Ace of Swords. You can set up a life that takes you very far from all the things you dislike about where you are right now. But learning those skills is the first step, absolutely, for sure. And then Three of Wands to the Justice card. When you leave, when you've learned the thing and you catapult out of the life you're in now and into a new one, you will find that you are in much better harmony with the world. And it's because the world didn't change. You didn't catapult into a new world. You changed on the jump. The world is the same. It just reacts to you differently because you're different. Okay, and I hate to bring up this Limitless example, but since Galdoom watches it every day anyway, what's up? I love you. I miss you. You're so beautiful. I miss your face. I want to come to London for New Year's. Okay, sorry. Just, resident Aries, and had to do the shout out. But Limitless, okay, and Limitless, just follow me here. First of all, I watch that movie way more nowadays than I should, but it's just so motivating. Okay, in Limitless, the world doesn't change, but the world does change, right? The world changes completely, but the world didn't actually change. He changed, right? So this idea that you could change your life, you know, change yeah, your life. You know, when you think of your life, you think of like the externalities that make up your life, like where you live and how you dress and how you look and who you know and who you sleep with and, you know, what you eat or whatever. Your aesthetic, right? But your life, all those things are determined by you, right? That stuff is only the way it is because it's a reflection of you. So when you learn something, whatever this thing is that you really need to learn, depending on whatever sector you're in. I mean, I'm gonna tell you like this, like it's not even my sector, but I just like picked up like 3 different like super hard courses in how to create like digital graphics. So it doesn't have to be, it's just something that like for some reason your gut is telling you like this is something you need to learn, you need to learn it now. So you need to honor that. And what that's going to do is it's going to change you. Okay, so when you change, right, because it's going to open your mind, like they say, like learning a new language. Okay, I'm just going to like flex on many levels right now because I'm like totally into this limitless shit. Like for example, I'm learning 2 new languages right now. I'm learning Turkish and I'm learning Spanish at the same time, right? So they say that every time you learn a language, it's like a door to a whole new world opens, like a world superimposes on top of the world you already know, but it's completely different because now you have this complete new set of vocabulary which comes with its own way of thinking that you can now superimpose onto the world, and then you're in a completely different world. Okay, so what happened is I gained some knowledge that changes the world for me, right? So what happens here with this magician energy, if you take it seriously, is that it can change you. You decide you're going to put your ego to the side, you're going to put your laziness to the side, and I don't mean you as in you specifically. This could apply to anybody. Okay, I'm not saying that you're lazy because you're obviously not. I'm just saying in general, whatever your thing is, you're gonna put it to the side, and that hour that you spend watching whatever shit TV show, or that, you know, $30 you spend on like whatever crap, like coffee or date that was a nightmare, like you're going to redirect and repurpose your time and your resources, and you're going to learn something that your soul has been kicking you and telling you for months, maybe even having dreams, maybe even years, like go learn this thing, and you're going to go learn it. And what's going to happen is when you learn it, it's going to give you major boss vibes. Okay? Look at that devil card. It's like waiting for you. It's waiting for this boss energy. It's waiting for you to level up. It's waiting for you to get this through your head and like change your mind. That Ace of Swords is like, there is a crown on top of the sword. Like I'm trying to give you a new mind. Like just take it. Just take this opportunity and run with it. Like there's so many different things right now that just make absolute sense that you could learn for free. You can learn to code for free. You can learn to do something that will pay you 6 figures in a year for free from your home, from YouTube. This is what I'm saying. Whatever it is, whatever version of this is, and the thing is, like, there's no ceiling to that profession. You can just keep learning, keep taking certifications. You can just do it forever and keep making more and more money, and like legitimately just be in your house chilling. Like, come on. So what's going to happen is as you pick this new thing up and it starts to like change your brain a little bit, it's going to open you up to the fact that like, yeah, there's like a whole world out there, and like, what have I been doing? Because you're going to start to change a little bit. When you start to change a little bit, the world's going to start to change. Then you get excited again. Like you need that feedback loop started, but like the engine's been off, like something needed to start the engine again. So like you picking this new thing up, magician energy, plus the 7 of Pentacles, very powerful vibes, like that starts the engine again. Once it's started, you start being excited about the world. When you start being excited about the world, start engaging more, the world becomes more exciting. And then you become more excited by it, and you're engaging more with the world, and you have this new skill and you're applying it to things, and it's making you see also, hey, trying new things and branching out a little and doing something, I'm being rewarded in a really positive way. And you start off 2022 being like, there's all these other things I want to learn as well. Now, in the meantime, between now and March, maybe you don't immediately start making the big bucks or getting the pats on the back. Don't look for any kind of affirmation, financial or otherwise, from now until March. Just put your head down and do the work. Have fun, pick something you like, pick something you're interested in, but don't look for any sort of signal from anyone to anyone that you are on the right road or that you should keep going, just follow your heart, pick the thing, do it, keep doing it, and you'll see, inshallah, by March, not only do you feel super brave, you're loving the thing that you're doing, it's opening your mind in all these different ways, and boom, Three of Wands, you change, the world changes around you, and you find yourself, you know, this axis that you're on, you find yourself over there in like Libra territory, like you're just really chilling. And Nine of Cups, like you're harmonious, like you feel good. And also King of Pentacles, like your financial future is pretty like solid. And yeah, it just makes you feel good. It just makes you feel secure and safe. And when you feel secure and safe, I gotta tell you, you're a pretty cool customer. So don't mind that first few cards there. Of course you gotta start at the bottom. I tell you what, I tell you a secret. The people that seem to be the most successful and make the most money and have the most fun and have the coolest stuff all seem to kind of jump around when they get to the top of something and start from the bottom of something else and make that up and then do the same thing again and again. It's almost as if they realize that the climb up the mountain is way more fun than just being up there butting heads with other people. Love you. I love you, and you can't hit me through the screen. Love you. All the links are below. Extended, these beautiful rings. I will see you in the extended right now. Bye. Oh, there's going to be some new tiers. Aries, Libra tier. So if you have these placements where you have like Aries, Sun, Libra, Moon, if you want to do that and get all the Aries readings and all the Libra readings and all the extendeds on Patreon, I'm putting those 2 tiers up. Aries, Libra tier and Aries, Libra plus the ZA. Mwah.